Hello, my name is Sarah Fryer. I work for the Sioux Falls School District, primarily at the Cleveland Elementary School, and I teach third grade. I've been there for the past 6 years. I graduated from the University of Sioux Falls. I got my Bachelor's of Arts in Elementary Education in December of 2019 and received my Master's of Education in Reading May of 2023. I feel that I do have a lot of experience with trauma and working with kids in trauma. I myself am a survivor of severe adult trauma, which I feel really allows me to connect with my students. Where all my, I would say, passion began was when I worked at the Boys and Girls Club. I worked at the after school program and a summer program for a few years. And there I learned that a lot of my children had experiences with trauma. I have only had experiences, and this is both student teaching and practicums and professional teaching at a Title I school, which means that a lot of the students that I have been around have sadly faced trauma. Each year, I have multiple students that come from a background involving trauma, whether that be in their past or currently in their, when I was working with them, that they were facing it daily. A lot of my students are refugees, so they have faced the trauma of coming from war and a lot of trauma, including their family. I also mentor past students who have faced trauma. I have volunteered with Aswan Ministry, which is a nonprofit that focuses on poverty alleviation in rural areas in Uganda. I spent my summer 2 years ago working with this nonprofit. I worked at the high school in Namayamba, working primarily with the students as well as doing home visits and just learning about their lives. Now, these children and these families wouldn't necessarily call what they've gone through trauma, but here in America, we would. I am currently the executive director of the Pearl of Unity, which is a charity that works with disadvantaged and orphan children in rural areas in Uganda. This organization was started with my fiance, who is a Ugandan, Ali, and last year he asked me to come on board to try and make this organization and this charity a little bit bigger. My understanding of the subject primarily is from the fact that I have been around children who have faced this trauma. With the schools that I have been at, I instantly found a passion in the subject and a passion for teaching the students who have been impacted by trauma. I really wanted to learn more about it so that I could best understand my students and teach these students affected by trauma in the best way possible. So I took it upon myself to learn through working with my school's counselors, listening to different podcasts, watching documentaries, and reading many, many books that focused on trauma. My educational successes all revolve around trauma, I would say. My first two have to do with COVID, and that was very traumatic for both teachers and students. I was a long-term substitute teacher when it started, and then my first year of teaching was that first year back for Sioux Falls School, where we really didn't know anything. Things were very strange, very different for the children. I am viewed as one of the teachers who truly sees her students, and I build really strong relationships with them. If you would ask any of my colleagues, they would be able to say this. I work primarily with behavioral students, so a lot of second graders who are seen as behavioral are put in my classroom. I really get through to these challenging students, or what others would call challenging students. I do this by earning their trust and using my learning that I've done to gain their trust, and they are given mine. I have really good, strong relationships with many of my students, even after they leave my classroom and after they leave Cleveland Elementary and go to middle school. And lastly, I have gotten students on IEPs due to their trauma, so they qualify for emotional disturbance. Thank you.